help us drive the point home today, we do have a guest speaker who I will introduce shortly, who is someone who's quite well versed in the space as well. So she's going to talk about how she has been able to leverage social media from a content creation perspective and how she was able to turn that into a business as well. Because I think we're still, in the mindset of, seeing social media as something that's a bit of a hobby and not necessarily a business. So she's someone who has, made it a business, who moved from corporate and went into full-time content creation. So I think it will be interesting to hear some of her thoughts and insights on that.
It was very paid to just post a beautiful picture or just a video. And that is far from the truth. Content creation is actually...
Stick around to learn more. So guys, we passed the Leonardo building, being out with content creators. I sat in a room full of creators and realized I wasn't dreaming alone anymore. I didn't feel like I was chasing something impossible. I felt like I belonged. There is something powerful about placing yourself in rooms that reflect the life you're trying to build. Because sometimes what you need isn't another motivational quote. It's evidence that your dream already exists in someone else's reality. For a moment, I stopped wondering if my dreams were too big, and I realized I was surrounded by people who once stood exactly where I am. That reminded me that every reality I admire was once someone's uncertainty. When was the last time you intentionally placed yourself in a room that stretched your vision instead of shrinking it? Because those rooms have a way of whispering to you. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not late. You're on time. And so I'll ask you again, when was the last time you let yourself feel that? I now step into rooms that were always meant for me. I've learned that the spaces we enter are important, but so are the people walking us into them. Sometimes we search so long for opportunities, we forget to notice that people are quietly opening doors we didn't see. And maybe the right people don't dream for us, but remind us our dreams deserve a place in the room. So who are the people around you? Do they make your dreams feel smaller, or do they make you brave enough to believe they're possible? What have they taught you to believe about your dreams?
Business and community has a story. If we fail to tell it ourselves, others will define us based on what they see, what they assume, or what they have experienced.
I came here expecting to leave with strategies. Instead, I left with perspective. There is something quietly reassuring about being in a room with people who once stood where I'm standing now. People who had questions before they had answers. People with dreams long before they became reality. It reminded me that every journey we admire was once uncertain. Every person we look up to once had to believe in something they couldn't see yet. Maybe the biggest shift isn't learning something new. Maybe it's seeing what's possible through someone else's story. Because once your perspective begins to change, so does the way you see your own life. The dreams that once felt distant start to feel within reach, and the path ahead starts to feel a little less impossible. And maybe that's why perspective matters so much. It doesn't change where you are overnight, but it changes how you walk from this moment forward.
Content creation is actually a job. On any given day, I am the talent, I am the producer, the director, I am the person who's taking the photos, videographer, negotiator. The list is endless. So when a business approaches you to promote their brand, they're not asking you they're not paying you just for the final product. They're paying for the final product, but everything else before that. They're paying for your creativity, they're paying for your strategy, they're paying for your skills, your years of experience, and they're paying for the audience you've actually built online. So that's why I need everyone who gets into content creation themselves to actually take it as a business. Also, this industry is not regulated. Payment terms are, I would call them ridiculous. You get paid 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days after you've gone live. Another challenge that a lot of people face is maybe unanswered emails. If maybe you pitched to a brand and they didn't answer you back. It's partnerships that don't work out. Maybe you were engaging and negotiating and then it falls through at the end. That happened to me this year. I would have had a big paying campaign and it didn't work out. But you know what? That was fun because something bigger and better came along, right? So those are challenges that creators do face in this space. People need to focus on their own craft, on their own skills, nurture their communities, and then they will only start seeing the actual progress within their own work. Some of the rewards, which are really great, obviously, the money can be really good. You can make your salary literally with one brand deal. You can have 4, you can make so much money, more money you can ever make in corporate. But at the same time, in June you can make all that money. July, August, September, it's very quiet. So that money has to sustain you throughout. So as much as the financial rewards, you also have to be able to budget your money and just spend wisely. Another reward is you get to work with some great brands that maybe you are yourself aligned with. You get travel opportunities. Those are some of the rewards that come with it. And I think one of the bigger rewards is also you are building the business from something that you actually enjoy. And it never feels like it's actual work, even though you work 24/7. A lot of people leave 9 to 5 and say, no, I want to work for myself. I want my own hours. Then you end up working till 3 o'clock, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. But because you're enjoying it, it doesn't feel like work. That there are valuable lessons in taking risks, adapting to change, and also creating opportunities.
I didn't expect to see my sister there that day. Seeing her smile was a reminder that sometimes life gives you encouragement in the most unexpected moments. And later, when she showed us something she worked really incredibly hard for, it reminded me that inspiration isn't only something you hear on stage. Sometimes it's something you witness in the people you've been watching grow. And there's something powerful about watching someone else's hard work turn into reality. It doesn't just make you cheer for them, it expands what feels possible for you. When you see someone close to you achieve something they've worked so hard for, what does that awaken in you? Does it make you compare your journey, or does it remind you that your season is still unfolding? It's funny how a day can look ordinary on the outside, the world moving as if nothing's changed, but quietly, something did shift. The way I see myself, the way I believe in the life that I've been imagining. I left with a different perspective. Maybe that's the quiet part of growth. Not becoming someone else overnight, but slowly starting to believe the person you're becoming is worth fighting for.